Hey guys, Brady Height here with your daily tennis lesson. Talking today about footwork on your approach shots. A question I get asked a lot on the approach is, do I stop to hit the shot or do I try to keep moving through the approach? And the answer is actually it depends. Based on what type of ball my opponent's given me is going to dictate whether I stop completely or whether I try to move through it a little more and advance on the net. Okay, for me, when the ball sits up a little bit higher and I can make my point of contact closer to my shoulder is a time where I'm going to actually stop completely, really load my legs, and hit a very aggressive shot. And so I've always felt like it was okay to stay a little farther back and stop completely because the shot I'm going to produce is a much bigger, more aggressive ball and hopefully puts my opponent in a bad position. So now, even though I have more distance to run up off my approach, I'm expecting a little weaker ball coming back, okay? And then I've always felt like when the ball's a little bit lower on my approach, that's a shot I've wanted to carry my momentum through. Because if I try to get to the low one and stop completely, there's a chance I just end up reaching a little bit too far and popping the ball up, which we know doesn't leave us in a good position for that first volley. Okay, so what I'm going to demonstrate today is a couple different approach shots. One where it sits up and another where it sits low, and you guys can watch how my feet react. Something to tie into this that's very, very important is how early I judge whether the ball sits up or is going to be down. If we take too long to decide high or low, a lot of times we get stuck and end up just popping that approach shot. So part of this, I want you guys really reacting to the ball visually and knowing whether you're going to get it high or low, and then use the footwork that I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to back up. Mark's going to toss me a couple balls. The first few are going to be the higher balls. You guys will see me come to a complete stop. I'll load the legs really big to hit more of kind of a jump approach shot. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so look, I'm really deep behind the service line, but I've just hit a world-class forehand. So my opponent's in a lot of trouble right now. So even though I've got to move in pretty far, I've got a pretty easy shot coming back most likely. Okay, let's look at that again. I notice the ball's sitting high, I stop, still pretty far back. But again, another really nice forehand, which puts my opponent on their heels. Okay, now Mark's going to toss a couple in a little bit lower. I notice they're low. I want to carry my momentum a little more into that shot. So now I'm on top of the service line after I've hit that. A little better position to be in for that first volley, because when it's low, I want to play a little more conservative approach shot, knowing I've got to hit up over the net more. Okay? So now the last couple, Mark's not going to tell me how he's going to toss them. It's my job to decide early whether I've got the high or the low, and then either load my legs on the high one or carry my momentum through the ball on the lower one. Okay, so I saw the low one, saw it early, got in, skipped through that shot. Saw the high one. I'm behind the service line, but again, a much bigger forehand, putting my opponent in a really bad position. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys today. Please click like below this video, and if you happen to be watching on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks, and we'll see you guys soon.